This is another very interesting Nukie round that I was actually recommended to watch by multiple people as it happened. There actually are all 5 Nukies. There are 3 operators, there's the agent slash medic, and the commander. And it does seem like they are indeed going for a Warops strategy with a full crew. And there's the confirmation. We have come for your all of your base. Do not resist. A little bit of a reference there. Station obviously having their own reactions to this. In case you don't know how Warops works, I can see the flog being made. They have bought 1 reinforcement and bought a Syndicate Assault Borg. That's the first time I've seen one of these in a spectating video at least. This station is Core Station. We see security wearing their hard suits already. Cargo absolutely filled to the brim with armor, guns. I even see a fucking quiver in there. There's uranium shotgun shells, so Science got their work done very quickly. Many crew members already armed to the absolute teeth. Even the SecFab got brought to cargo, which makes a lot of sense. You see people dismantling lockers for ammo. Anyways, station definitely getting armed. We are now 27 minutes in. We can see all the Nukies have boarded. 2 lube bombs, must use them sparingly, and apparently they have a lube flamethrower. So in War Ops, I really feel like you want to space literally everything you possibly can. Talking to the ATS, well, they probably already have as many guns as they can really get at this point, but you might be able to catch some people out if you go there. Oh, they actually, despite the fact that Salamander, they actually are using a portal to the ATS, which typically does not make Wisden admins very happy, and I'm kind of shocked to see that on Salamander. A lot of people consider this power gaming. And once you break these consoles, there's actually no way to sell any things anymore. There's no way to replace the selling consoles, which the Nukies seem to be aware of that. So now things can no longer be sold, meaning the station really can't make money. Some uranium slugs going off immediately. This flamethrower is not working at all. The portal to the station has been closed. Looks like they're at the AI satellite part of the station, which is also where the telecoms are featured, and the bridge, and gravity. Core, if they decided to use their mag boots, they could have just very, very easily destroyed gravity and tossed it into space. They also could destroy telecoms relatively easily here. Telecoms starting to get destroyed. Saltborg breaking the windows of the bridge, spacing it. At a security and a security officer. Immediately giving off some damage. That lube bomb. Oh, the lube bomb actually did end up leaking out towards the bridge itself. The lube bomb did work. It just killed that head of security, who is now stuck in a window. Sec officer also falls. So the lube bomb, despite missing, was so powerful that it spread out into the bridge and basically killed the head of security. They are carrying an artifact. Okay, most of the station has arrived. Captain taking quite a few shots. The captain is a free kill at this point. The captain is down. Quartermaster's down. Very strong stinger grenade. They're going to grab the saw. Nope, they went for a cuff instead of grabbing the saw. I guess that's fair. They are in a jug suit. Not sure. Okay, they're China liking their friend, but the jug suit does have decent explosive resistance. I hope this agent has death acidifier. I hope the jug suit has a death acidifier. Trying to stick up with the combat. There was not much more happening in the bridge specifically. The jug suit person is getting stripped. They did have an acidifier, but it looks like their jug suit did get stolen. This Nukie, the commander, was not quite fast enough to save their friend, trying to juggle against. Another death acidifier. 2 Nukies gone. They, again, committed the normal, most common issue you see with Nukies of splitting up without having either ways of EMPing your targets, having freedom implanters, or at least even like a macro bomb or something. Splitting up without having some backup plan to get yourself out of that situation, or to at least cause immense damage to your captors, is always one of the biggest downfalls you see of Nukies, is they don't have a like backup plan for whenever they get captured for splitting up. The death gasp are very interesting. See, some uranium ammo is doing some work. Telescopic shields really just causing some major tankiness. Now we get to see another lube bomb go off. Lube is a really, really powerful weapon. Even the person who stole the jug suit did not have. It has no way of not slipping, so they realize that though, and they're standing still and dropping more rounds into the Nukies. Didn't get Assault Borg is down. I saw another Nukie get crit. Seems like they are getting some form of help. They do have the captain's body. The person in the jug suit is hostile. Unfortunately, due to that Nukie not acidifying themselves earlier, they did give up a really powerful set of armor. But this hallway being lubed is really strong for the crew. I mean, you can see more people just falling and dying to it. Slipping away even. Disabler SMG is not going to disable somebody with an E-sword and E-shield. Oh god, these death gasps are fucking horrifying. That's this really interesting hollow barrier setup for the crew to shoot through. Really smart setup for whoever set these up. I'm guessing an Atmos Tech or the CE did that. There are still... Majority of the Nukie crew is still standing at this point. CE has fallen. It's still in anyone's favor. So that person that died earlier actually wasn't the captain. That is the real captain. I mean, it faked me out in the Spectator, but I, again, don't have a pinpointer and I don't have a crew manifest. Oh my god, these death gasps are horrifying. Captain forcing the Nukies into a pretty tight choke point. X-ray cannon thankfully not going to do very much against the energy shield user here. Just reflecting off. Using a cigarette machine as cover. Nukies could potentially have a really powerful flank here. They don't have to force themselves through this choke point. Most of the crew is boxing themselves into this little rectangle here, or if they go this way, they're dealing with spacing. If the Nukies just went through this route right here, possibly blow open this wall or just go through this, they could have very much pinched off pretty much the entirety of the crew that's left. But they're also just seemingly throwing themselves forward with energy swords and shields. The reflecting is doing a ton of work. The tankiness of the shields is doing a ton. Borg doing some good hit and run strats as well. Flank on the south side by a salvage specialist and a detective. Didn't seem to really get too much work done there. China Lake seems to be empty. Also, if the Nukies just decided to plop a C4 down here as well, they'd be stopping a lot of the revival efforts of the crew. The medical is just one window away from losing its entire, like, revival area. There's no fire locks between the treatment rooms, so if you were to space this, medical loses a lot of their ability to treat people pretty quickly. I mean, look at all the medicine here that they could cut off and use for themselves. In here alone, I see 3 different people getting actively treated at once. So the Nukies could have just used a single C4 and basically prevented most of these people from getting medical attention. They can't really see that though, because I mean, I have like Omnivision, but you can hear them working in there, and you should also just assume that people in medical are going to be healing during nuke ops, especially during war ops. The reflect chances are crazy. Energy shields are so strong, especially against war ops crew, because there's a lot more lasers. I mean, the crew in general has a lot of lasers, a little bit of friendly fire going on there. A lot of people getting treated in Medbay. I've seen at least 3 or 4 people get back on their feet. The crew is doing a really amazing job of getting people back on their feet and even just, like, delaying the Nukies from pushing. They're really going through attrition here. See, Science built some turbo rechargers. I haven't seen any EMPs from the Nukie side, and lasers have been a pretty big aspect of the crew's weapons. Toggle the lights to reduce the harshness of Medbay's vision. They are now starting to kill the survivors of Medbay, but they're having to manually go in and cut them down. You can even see they must be having some issue with uranium damage from all the X-ray cannons, from all the uranium spears. No EMPs is letting the crew get a lot of these shots off pretty much for free. Energy shields are good, but not all of them have that. Most of these combatants at this point don't have EVA protection, but unfortunately the Nukies just aren't really using things like mini-bombs or anything like that to give spacing on the go. But they are still doing a pretty good job of sticking together and doing some melee damage, but as I say that, seemingly the Nukies are just running out of meds. They can't heal the uranium damage. The Borg is down. I think there's only one Nukie still standing, and it's this one. Yeah, it's not looking very good at this point. We are down to just smiley face. One of the Nukies is arrested and down. Borg is getting destroyed. Death acidifier. They're pretty much... Operator Romeo is unfortunately lost behind. I wasn't expecting the medical team to be able to recover that many people that quickly, but the medical team getting recovered basically stopped the Nukies in their tracks. The loop grenades were a really strong opener and probably the strongest aspect of the Nukie team. Even this one, which didn't detonate in a great spot, still killed the head of security and gave them some free access and stuff. But I think the biggest issue here was that when the Nukies split up, they split up too quickly on their own and 2 people got killed completely by themselves and donated a C-20 and a Juggernaut suit. The Nukies seemingly just froze up here. There was no real push. They were getting destroyed by lasers. None of the Nukies had EMPs that I saw. They weren't really using space to their advantage. Like, Medical Bay, still completely sealed. They healed, I don't even know, probably half a dozen plus people from crit or dead back to their feet, which then those revived people literally stopped the Nukies with all the equipment that was in here. I mean, just look on the ground of how many topicals there are. Imagine if the Nukie team got access to all those topicals and the radiation medicine. I mean, there's radiation kits in here. They could have healed all that damage back if they just took this quicker. I mean, there's a rad auto-injector sitting there. Again, I say this stuff as a third party omniscient critic. I'm not trying to criticize anyone. I'm just saying what could have been done differently. I have never seen Warops win. Warops is very doomed. I think it was a really fun round. I hope everyone here had a good time. Thank you for watching, and please keep sending me rounds. I will not be able to get to them all, but I will try to cover them because it's fun.